Good morning, champions. I hope you all had a wonderful snooze last night with beautiful dreams. There's a few things I want to talk about today, so let's just get right into it. Many of you may have noticed I made a beer tier list a few days ago. The video is a banger, but it also was a cause for concern for quite a few people. I believe it may have triggered a protective motherly instinct in some of you. I saw quite a large handful of people that were worried I may have fallen off the wagon and you wanted me to just once again latch back onto your bosom safely and avoid the evils of alcohol. It's no secret that I've been sober for about 4 years. It's also no secret that the reason I phrase it that way is because I love the response that it garners. When you say that you've been sober, the assumption is at one point you struggled with alcohol abuse or something like that. You were an alcoholic. For me, that was never the case. I just engage in binge drinking on the weekends with the boys, maybe a little butt chugging of absinthe here and there, but I never really had like an addiction to alcohol. I stopped drinking for one very simple reason. I just didn't need to. I focused more on like lifting and like general dietary health reasons, and alcohol is just empty calories, and it's just like I don't really need that. So I just stopped. Like that was it. But I always say that I've been sober for 4 years now, just because I love the way that people treat me after I say it. They're like patting me on the back, like wow, congratulations, that's amazing, inspirational even, as if I had just won like the national spelling bee or something. It's almost like stolen valor from real alcoholics when I say that I've been sober for 4 years, because again, it was a very easy change for me to make since I didn't have any kind of like dependency on it. So I didn't have withdrawals. I didn't have, this tough time dropping it. I didn't have to like white knuckle and just bear the pain and, fucking grit my teeth and just get through it. I just full cold turkeyed it. And I recognize that the reason people, when I posted this tier list, were a little concerned is because I've stated that I'm 4 years sober, which is the truth. I hadn't had a sip of alcohol in 4 years until that tier list. Which, by the way, is a wild thing to break a 4-year sobriety streak on, to do a fucking shitty beer tier list. Not all of them were shitty, but doing just a general beer tier list with some of the most repulsive pisswater tinkle brews. Like, what a way of of getting back in the saddle here. But since I phrase it like I've been sober for so long, when this tier list went up, people were naturally a little apprehensive and concerned that I would fall back into some kind of, self-destructive path with alcohol or something, which I just want to assure you is not the case and never was the case. And also as a result of this, people have been wondering, how did I stop drinking alcohol? Because a lot of people do struggle with an addiction to it. And for me, I am not the person to be giving any kind of advice because I didn't have that. My situation was very different. I just stopped for a very simple health reason. Whereas if there's a real dependency, you probably will need a professional to help or have a network of people to help. And I'm certainly not the one to be, lending advice in that area. So to anyone out there that actually does struggle with an alcohol addiction, absolutely look into professional help. I am certainly not the one that has the answers for it. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of briefly go over this topic. Also, it's a little life hack. If you don't feel like drinking, if you're not a big fan of drinking, and your friends are the kind of people that keep trying to like pressure you, like, oh, you're not going to have fun if you don't drink. Come on, drink. What do you mean you don't feel like drinking? You can just fall back on my strategy of saying like, nah, I've been sober for however long a period of time. And pretty much everyone's like really understanding of that. So that's just a little life hack for anyone out there that just doesn't feel like drinking. Now on to the next topic, which is one I'm extremely excited about. Astute observers over the last month may have noticed that there's been QR codes hidden in some of my videos, and some people have pieced together the puzzle and figured it out. It takes you to a website that had a countdown. Very cryptic shit. Also very simple things, but it was just kind of a fun little Easter egg hunt. It took you to a website with a countdown. That countdown is now expired as of the time this video goes live, and it was announcing the release of something I've been working on for a long time called Plague Seeker. I mentioned that before in my room tour video, and now it's finally out. Plague Seeker is a comic series that I've worked on for over a year now. Now, many of you know this isn't my first comic series. We also do still have Godslap with issue 4 coming out next month. Godslap is made by myself, Jackson, Danny, Matt, and Aubrey Sitterson. However, with Plague Seeker, this one's all me. I wrote and created the story of Plague Seeker, and it's edited by Jackson. The art is done by an incredible artist named Vampire Tranel, whose name might be familiar because he also did a Godslap cover variant for issue 1. Vampire Tranel has created truly breathtaking art for Plague Seeker. Each page is a masterpiece. So I'm extremely happy with Plague Seeker. Also, I do have an animation on the way that we commissioned from Sikowski Studios, the same studio behind Skynut, as well as our first Godslap animation. So that'll be right around the corner, but it's not ready yet. So that'll be within the next couple months. I imagine most people will pick up on a subtle Berserk influence. I've been really into Berserk, and a lot of the inspiration for this came from me reading through Berserk. And it just kind of like shaped the tone as well as just kind of the vibe I was trying to capture with Plague Seeker. I'll give you a quick elevator pitch to sell you on what the concept is. 1,000 years ago, Earth was hit by an asteroid, and this event became known as the Calamity. Most humans were just fucking vaporized instantly, but those that survived were mutated. The closer to the center of the impact they were, the more powerful the mutation. They became known as plagues. Some of them are vicious, bloodthirsty killing machines, while others still retain some semblance of humanity. While all these plagues are fearsome, there are 8 in total that are far more powerful than anything else on the planet. The 8 Great Plagues. These Great Plagues control the world, and no one can match their strength or abilities. However, on the day of the Calamity, there was actually one more Great Plague born, at the very epicenter of the impact where nothing had the right to survive. One creature was born far different than any other plague. He was born with an insatiable appetite, a desire to devour the other 8 Great Plagues. He is the Plague Seeker, and Plague Seeker follows his journey to eat the other 8. That's the story in a nutshell. What's available right now is issue 0, which lays out the foundation of the Plague Seeker universe. It also comes with a journal kind of documenting some survivors' journeys post-calamity, just to flesh out the world a little bit more. So this is the standard cover by Vampire Tranel, but we also do have 2 variants. Similar to how we do it with Godslap, we'll always have variant covers. So we have this one done by Ben Templesmith, and this one done by John Bivens. So all of this is available at badegg.co. There's a link in the description. And I want to also briefly explain that. So Bad Egg is actually our publishing company. So that's what we've been publishing Godslap through for the last 8 months, what we're publishing Plague Seeker through. And we're also publishing Jacksepticeye's upcoming comic book, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen by now as well. I'm not going to go too in-depth on Bad Egg Publishing in this video because I don't want this to all just feel like a big ad. I'm just extremely excited about everything here, so I wanted to at least mention that. So yeah, Plague Seeker is fully available now, so definitely feel free to pick up a copy if you think the concept sounds interesting. I think the art is jaw-dropping. Vampire did an amazing job with it, so very, very happy with everything here. Also, there is a digital version. If you would rather immediately be able to start reading it, you can get the digital version. It doesn't have to be physical, but all of it's available at Bad Egg, which the link is in the description. Now, the next topic I want to touch on is one that I've talked about on stream, but want to give a little follow-up and update to. A couple weeks ago, I mentioned on stream a huge fumble, a big blunder on my behalf in the online space. A lot of you know that I'm a big fan of Post Malone. I've been a Post-Patriot for years now. I've really enjoyed his music, and everything I've seen from him, he just seems like a fucking great guy. And I've never talked to him, I never interacted with him or anything like that, but I have been a fan for quite a long while. And a lot of you know I have an Instagram account, and a lot of you know that that thing just fucking collects dust. That is like an actual fucking tomb of activity. There is almost nothing I do on Instagram. I don't check it. I don't really post on there often. I've been posting there a little bit more because of what I'm about to tell you, but overall, I just never really went there. But about a month ago, I did decide to go on Instagram after posting a picture of my animals, and I noticed in my requests that I had a DM from Post Malone. And it is legitimately one of the nicest messages I have ever received in my entire fucking life. Talking about wanting to do some Forged in Fire things where we forge blades together, drink beer, play Magic the Gathering, and he was just super, super nice and I guess enjoyed the content. and I didn't see it, so that had just been lingering there for God knows how long. I don't even remember. But it was just fucking sitting there unread, out in the cold rain, Post Malone with the nicest message ever to a man, me, who was a huge fan, and I saw it and I panicked. So I tried to reply very quickly, and I think my reply was fucking weak. So he did see it, like I got like the scene response, and then no reply. I went into, I felt like I was back in high school, like getting left on red. I went into a frenzy again. I was like, oh my God, I fucking blew it. I blew it. It's the end. He hates me now. He fucking hates me. He probably blocked me. So I did what no man should ever do. I double texted. So I sent him another text message. I was like, hey, just circling back around. I mean, if you're ever in town, I'm super down to do some stuff together. Like, you know, like an anime character, real nervous. My nose starts bleeding. Once again, fucking nothing. It's been radio silence for the last like month and a half now. I fucking blew it. I blew it. So I just wanted to give a follow up on that situation because chat still teases me about it. And this is a PSA to everyone out there. You might as well just check your messages on all your platforms just in case. You never know who might be knocking at that door. Now, the last topic I want to touch on is a pretty quick one. My second channel, Moist Charlie Clips. Historically, it's mainly just been used for like goofy moments and stream highlights, things like that. But I'm going to do a little bit more with that channel starting this week. I'm going to just start posting content on there that I know most of you don't really give a shit about. So things like One Piece update. I just finished Skypiea and I just want to like fucking diarrhea my thoughts out there into a video. And I know a lot of you don't care about that, but I'm going to post it on the second channel for anyone that does. And I'm probably going to treat it like that for content that I'm pretty interested in, but I know most of you aren't. So like another thing, and it's not all going to be anime related, but the first two things I'll probably do are anime related. Another thing I've wanted to make a video on is Casshern Sins, which I think is one of the most underrated anime of all time. I think it's a fucking must watch. It's an amazing, amazing show. So I'll probably make a video about that and post it on the second channel there. But basically what I'm saying is the channel is going to be more than just like stream moments and stuff like that. I am going to be posting other types of content on there very soon. So I just wanted to give a little update to the direction that Moist Charlie Clips is going to be going. And by the way, that is my only other channel. All of the other ones are like fucking bot farms that are taking from stream and posting as quickly as possible. This is the only other channel I actually have, so just a heads up on that as well. So go subscribe to Moist Charlie Clips if any of that sounds interesting. And yeah, that's really about it. So yeah.